everyone. You are welcome to the Youth Energy Team First Energy 360 debate competition. And this is our preliminary knockout stage. In this round, we will feature two outstanding schools, School A, which is, and School B, which is. Each side will present their stance with passion, research, and clarity. Remember, this competition isn't about being for or against the motion. It's about how well each team presents, defends, and communicates their ideas.
Ask a question bigger than politics, bigger than profits. A question of legacy. We are a nation drowning in wealth but thirsty for progress. The question is simple. Will we be the generation that clung to the past or the one that will build the future? Will we stay stuck in the past or invest in the power of tomorrow? Good day, esteemed judges. My name is Usman Halima Onize from Government Day Secondary School, KARU, Abuja, and I am here with a team of two other college students to strongly propose the motion which says Nigeria should stop oil exploration and focus on renewable energy, which we will subsequently explain why. To start with, many people think oil is Nigeria's lifeline. No, oil is Nigeria's leash, a leash we must cut before it strangles us. Let me start with something we all understand: money. Nigeria's entire economy dances to the unpredictable rhythm of oil prices. One day, a barrel is $100, the next day, $30. When oil sneezes, Nigeria catches a cold. Is that what a sustainable economy looks like? Research shows that between 2014 and 2016, the global oil market crashed by over 70%, and Nigeria lost more than 4 trillion naira in projected revenue. In 2020, oil demand fell drastically due to COVID-19. Nigeria literally couldn't sell its oil. Ships were floating at seas like homeless landlords with no tenants. Now, what does this mean? It means that Nigeria is addicted to a product that is allergic to stability. And addiction has consequences. When oil prices fall, schools don't open, roads remain potholes with ambition, so that it's delayed like a Nigerian wedding, and the naira tumbles like a rolling barrel. Let's go beyond economics. Let's go to the land beneath our feet, the air in our lungs, and the water in our rivers. The Niger Delta, once a paradise of biodiversity, now a crime scene of gas flares, oil spills, and dead fish floating like tragic poetry. Over 13 million barrels of oil have been spilled in the Niger Delta since the 1950s. That's not an accident. That's an ecological war crime. Gas flaring is still happening. In 2023 alone, Nigeria flared about 243 standard cubic feet of gas. Imagine burning that much money into the air while we don't have no electricity. Still, can you guess the results? Acid rains, crops dying in the soil, communities abandoned, and children going up next to flaming chimneys instead of playgrounds. And yet we ask, should we continue? Would you keep drinking from a cup that is slowly killing you? I don't think so. Let us stop pretending that oil has saved Nigeria. If it had, 133 million Nigerians wouldn't be living in multidimensional poverty. That's not a statistic. That's one of every 2 people we meet. Nigeria has earned about $1 trillion since 1950s. Yet, our schools are underfunded, our roads are like death traps, and our hospitals lack city hall. Crude oil can be attacked by subsidy fraud to pipeline theft. Wealth breeds political greed, but renewables, being decentralized and locally managed, can limit even a single chokehold on wealth. The oil is deep, but the water is deeper. Now the world is moving. Countries are setting deadlines to phase out fossil fuel, heading to decarbonization. The UK plans to ban new petrol cars by 2035. Countries like Germany are investing billions into renewables, and even major oil companies like Shell and BP are rebranding themselves as energy companies, not oil companies. But Nigeria, we cling to oil like a broken toy a child refuses to let go. Must we wait till our barrels are empty before we take action? I have established that oil is economically unreliable, environmentally destructive, socially divisive, and globally outdated. Yet we cling to it like it's our birthright. Ladies and gentlemen, the age of oil is over. It just hasn't collapsed yet. But the future is clean, the future is bright, and the future is renewable. And that's where we are going to the next meeting. Now that we have seen the failures of oil, its volatility, It's betrayal of our national promise. Let us turn our eyes to a rising hope. A new chapter, renewable energy. Good day, esteemed judges. My name is Joseph Majesty from Government Day Secondary School, KARU. Here to reaffirm our stance, proposing the motion that Nigeria should stop all exploration and focus on renewable energy. First of all, Nigeria has the natural advantage. Our solar. Good day, esteemed judges. My name is Umar Farida Ojoshide from Government Day Secondary School, KARU, Abuja. I am here to proclaim our stance, proposing the motion that Nigeria should stop oil exploration and focus on renewable energy. Critics will likely say, but Nigeria cannot survive without oil. To that, I'll respond, Nigeria has not been survived because of oil. They'll remind you that oil funds the budget. Well, newsflash, that budget is now underfunded, overborrowed, and deeply unreliable. A system that collapses with every drop in crude prices is no longer a system, rather it is a crisis. People may say that we don't have the infrastructures for renewables. True, but we also have the refineries to process our own oil, and we've had 6 decades for that. At least renewables comes with global support, local scalability, and climate financing. The world wants us to transition. Investors want us to transition. Even the oil companies themselves are transitioning. And maybe they will say transitioning will take time. Yes, it will. But do you know what also takes time? Rebuilding a nation poisoned by spills, choked by smoke, and enslaved by debt. If time is the concern, the solution is not to delay. It is starting now. So I say it again. Oil is not a safety net, rather it is a trap. And the longer we stay in it, the harder it becomes to escape. So I ask, are we the generation that clung to rust while the world chased the sun? Or are we the generation that saw the truth and rose with it? Thank you. Esteemed judges, we have dug deep enough. We have drilled long enough. And what we have seen in the belly of earth is not salvation. It is a warning. Oil gave us promises, but those promises came with pipelines that leak poisons into our rivers, refineries that don't work, and a nation that trembles at the twitch of foreign prices. We were told it was black gold, but look around. It has stained our hands, suffocated our lands, and poisoned generations. Now look up. The sun is shining over Sokoto. The winds are sweeping through Katsina, and the waters of Kanja are flowing with quiet strength. And yet we ask, and still, some would have us stay trapped in the dark. Some would have us believe that the only way forward is to dig deeper into a future that's already collapsing. But we say no. We say let us rise from pollution to possibility, from scarcity to sustainability. This is not just an environmental argument. It is an economic imperative, a moral obligation, and a generational responsibility. So we end where we began truth. Nigeria must stop oil exploration, not someday, but today. Because every moment we cling to it, we delay our greatness. Let's break the chain. Let's ignite the future. Let's strike the match and power a new Nigeria. Thank you.
The already established protocol. My name is Etoba Fozia Ibrahim, a student of Government Secondary School, KARSHI, Abuja, standing before you here today to oppose the motion that states Nigeria should stop oil exploration and focus on renewable energy. While the idea sounds progressive, it is unrealistic and dangerous for Nigeria's current economic and developmental state, and here is why. Firstly, oil exports are a significant source of revenue for Nigeria's government, funding public services and infrastructure projects. Oil remains the backbone of Nigeria's economy. It contributes over 80% of our export earnings and a large portion of government revenue. Abruptly halting exploration would cripple our economy, lead to mass unemployment and social unrest. With Nigeria's oil reserves valued at over $100 billion, can the country afford to abandon this resource? Secondly, Nigeria's energy demands are high, and oil is currently the primary source of energy. Stopping oil exploration could lead to energy shortages, impacting the country's economic and social development. Despite the push for renewable energy, global demand for oil is still high, and Nigeria's oil exports are likely to remain competitive. The energy transition to renewables in Nigeria is a journey, not a jump. Nigeria faces chronic electricity shortages, and renewables, while promising, are not yet able to meet our national energy demand. We must develop a strong and stable energy mix and not throw away what currently works. Thirdly, oil is a reliable source of energy, whereas the renewable sources of energy like wind and solar are intermittent. Nigeria's energy infrastructure is currently designed to support oil exploration and production. Also, oil-producing regions in Nigeria have economies that are heavily dependent on the oil industry. Even the global economy still depends on oil, and as long as that demand exists, Nigeria should benefit. Stopping oil exploration will not end global fossil fuel use. It will just shift the opportunity to other nations. Given all these benefits, my opponent still thinks we can venture into renewable energy, then it will be interesting to know that Nigeria lacks the infrastructure to support large-scale renewable energy projects. The country will need to invest in new infrastructures, including solar panels, wind turbines, and energy storage facilities. These large-scale renewable energy projects can lead to land use conflict and habitat destruction. Renewable energy technology is expensive and requires skilled labor, and Nigeria currently lacks the local manufacturing base and technical capacity to fully transition without massive external support. My opponents may argue that the carbon emission from oil exploration and production has brought about climate changes. This is a true fact, but technological advancements in the oil industry can reduce the environmental effects of oil exploration and production and also mitigate the greenhouse gas emissions from oil production, making it both environmentally friendly and a sustainable option. Having said all this, the best practice is not to stop oil exploration, but to use its profits wisely. Conclusively, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed judges, I believe you have sought to agree with me on the fact that stopping oil exploration and venturing into renewable energy is not the best option for Nigeria today. Thank you.
Nigeria should stop oil exploration and focus on renewable energy. According to the Longman Dictionary of Contemporary English, oil exploration encompasses the processes and methods involved in locating potential sites for oil drilling and extractions. Renewable energy, according to the same dictionary, is an energy that won't run out. It is natural and self-replenishing and usually have a zero or low carbon footprint. But before I proceed, it is indeed wise and appropriate to give honor to whom honor is due. And with this, I say, Mr. Chairman, panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, co-debaters, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, my name is Shezi Chinazamata, a proud student of Government Secondary School KARSHI Abuja, standing before you today to oppose the motion which states Nigeria should stop oil exploration and focus on renewable energy. Firstly, Nigeria stopping oil exploration and focusing on renewable energy is one step that will lead to economic downturn, as Nigeria tends to invest on renewable energy, which may not be an easy task for a developing country like ours. Do you know that if solar power, in one example of renewable energy, is focused in Nigeria, it has a lot of issues to do with? This includes weather dependence, which may be erratic or irregular, undergoes sophisticated manufacturing processes, has an initial high capital cost, and most importantly, batteries have negative environmental impact, especially during manufacture and disposal. So you see, whether it has low carbon footprint or not, one thing is for sure, it is also harmful. Secondly, oil exploration and production helps the government to fund public services and infrastructures. Not only that, there are vital byproducts gotten from it, which includes petroleum gel, vastly used for the smoothness of the body, coal tar used for the tying of food, fossil fuel, and lots more. Thirdly, oil exploration and production plays a significant role in the life of an individual. On the positive side, it leads to economic opportunities, particularly in areas where oils are discovered, leading to an overall economic growth of the nation. There will be a large compensation fees given to these citizens, leading to the betterment of their family, oneself, and resident opportunities. In addition, oil exploration can bring about high value to Nigeria currency. Dear audience, you agree with me when I say Nigeria money does not have value, but the fact is that this can change drastically if oil exploration should be ignited more, notwithstanding the fact that Nigeria produces 1.8 million barrels of oil per day and sold to overseas countries. If this country should trade with our currency, I not only think, but I believe that Nigeria money can have value through oil exploration. Lastly, let us consider employment. The oil sectors provide direct and indirect job opportunities to the graduate and undergraduate citizens of Nigeria, from the engineers to transporters to marketers and finally to food sellers at oil sites. This has resulted to the massive downfall of unemployment rate in Nigeria. My opponents may opine that what is the level of affordability of oils in Nigeria? But I stand today to assert what is also the level of renewable energy. Yes, it's true. Oils are now being sold at the high rate in Nigeria. But the question is, can't it be stopped? Of course it can. It can be reduced if the government of Nigeria are willing and ready to tackle the problem facing Nigeria economy, notwithstanding the fact that Nigeria owes 144.67 trillion naira at the end of 2024 with no hope of paying soon. If Nigeria, a developing country, should stop oil exploration and focus on renewable energy, tell me, where will the capital come from? Prevention is better than cure. In conclusion, oil exploration has proven to be the major driver of Nigeria economy. It is crucial to address its challenges and ensure that the benefit of oil sectors are shared equitably and sustainably. Instead of stopping oil exploration, why not make it more advanced? Food for thought. Stop oil exploration, expose the country to an economic hardship, which will eventually lead to economic suicide. Thank you.
With due adherence to protocol, I am Augustine Oche Clement, a student of Government Secondary School KARSHI, opposing the motion that Nigeria should stop oil exploration and focus on renewable energy. Oil is not just a resource to Nigeria, it is the lifeline of our economy. Stopping oil exploration will be like cutting off the branch on which we sit on. With this in mind, let us now explore clear reasons why Nigeria should continue oil exploration. First and foremost, let us be realistic. Oil exploration is going to the pillars of Nigeria's economy. According to the Nigerian National Petroleum Company, oil and gas account for over 85% of Nigeria's export earnings and around 50% of government revenue. Stopping oil exploration abruptly would create a massive economic vacuum which renewable energy cannot fill, at least not yet. Ladies and gentlemen, while renewable energy is a noble goal, Nigeria is not ready to depend on it entirely. We lack the infrastructure, funding, and technical know-how to roll out solar, wind, and hydro energy efficiently across the nation. Most rural communities still don't have stable electricity and depend on petrol and diesel generators. Is it wise to stop oil exploration when it powers our homes, businesses, and hospitals? Furthermore, the opposite side may conclude that oil exploration has brought about disasters like tanker explosion, which has caused the tragic loss of lives. My purpose here is to reset their mindset on the causes, which are the poor safety standard, weak enforcement of regulations, and illegal activities. These are cracks in the system, human and management failures, not a reason to burn down the house just to kill a rat by stopping oil exploration. Rather, we should adopt a balanced approach, continue oil exploration while gradually investing in renewable technologies for the future. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, if a man throws away his only bread because he hopes for a cake tomorrow, he will starve today. Therefore, Nigeria must not throw away her only current lifeline in pursuit of a future that we are not yet ready for. We should strengthen what we have while prepared for what we hope for. Thank you.
With respect to the already existing protocols, my name is Chase Chinazamata. My team and I have laid bare truth. Oil isn't just a resource, it's the very foundation of Nigeria's economy. My opponent proposed a halt to oil exploration, but this is a very dangerous fantasy disconnected with the immediate needs of over 200 million Nigerians. To suddenly stop oil exploration isn't a transition, it's an economic catastrophe. It means mass unemployment, a crippled budget, and a national instability. Yes, we advocate for a new transition to renewables, one that doesn't sacrifice our present for an uncertain future. Abandoning oil now will be self-sabotage, pushing millions of Nigerians into hunger and hardship. What Nigeria needs is a pragmatic path forward, leveraging our strength to build a sustainable tomorrow. We must be realistic, we must be responsible, and we must be ready to secure our present for a great future, which can only be done with oil exploration. Thank you.
And that concludes the knuckle stage battle between School A and School B. Judges, please kindly evaluate this based on content, delivery, clarity, teamwork, and overall impact, not on which side of the motion they argued. And as for our wonderful viewers, please stay tuned as the journey to the quarterfinals continues. Youth Energies Team First, fueling future energies.